Good morning, everybody. Hope y'all are having an absolutely wonderful morning so far. Sorry I'm a little late getting on here today. Basically, had a really good day yesterday. Very productive. Um, well, couldn't even say very productive, but I could say it was very lucky. It seems like a lot of things came through. Uh, well, things I still have to work on, making sure they come through, but a lot of positive things happened. Um, so that was super exciting. Kind of felt like a birthday present. All the good things that were happening to me yesterday. But of course, I did have that engagement thing I had to go to, so couldn't do too much. And then it was my birthday, so a little bit busy, but no problem. So today, basically, what we're gonna do. So let me tell you what actually happened yesterday. I was actually scrolling through Facebook, and I hate to say it because I really don't like social media, and I wish I didn't have a Facebook page, but I was scrolling through Facebook, and there's a concert at a carnival grounds that's like right by, it's like in my town, Mount Airy Carnival Grounds, and there was a concert there, so I clicked that, and I'm like, oh, cool. And then I saw that, the carnival is actually happening, not this week, but next week, starts Monday. And I was like, man, that would be a really nice gig to get if I could somehow get that. I'm sure it's too late, but that'd be a really nice gig. So anyway, I found out who was putting the carnival on. It turned out to be the Lions Club in my town. So I contacted them via Facebook. Somebody answered and said, I can get you the contact information, or I'll forward your contact information. It might not be too late to get in. And anyway, so that lady, excuse me. So some lady did call me back from the Lions Club maybe 3 hours later. And she said, well, I've already turned in all of the paperwork to the health department and everything that we needed to do, and we've approved all our vendors and everything like that. But we don't have a kettle corn guy. If you do still want to come do it, and you can get your stuff into the health department in time, then we're happy to have you there. And she asked what kind of setup I needed. And anyway, this will absolutely be the biggest event that I've done. I know I've actually never been to the carnival before in Mount Airy, but I've driven past it many times. And there's actually two carnivals. It looks like there's another one in July, but I know that they have a packed house, and they do pretty well. So I would do really, really well there. So the kind of stipulations are, I have to get the permit through the health department to actually be able to pop there, which shouldn't be a problem. My town, basically, there's 4 counties. I mean, the Lions Club is actually called 4 Counties Lions Club, because like 4 counties come together like right here. So I've worked with the other 2 county health departments, and I've been able to do events and get permitted for that. But I haven't actually worked with the county that the fairgrounds is in. And so the lady did say, like, oh, they're really good to us. And, so I imagine that the health department will be helpful, because it is a big event and they're familiar with the organizers. And, I think it's in their best interest to see that event do well as well. So I think they'll be helpful, I hope. And I don't think it will be that complicated of a process. But what we're going to do today is I'm going to look up when they open. We're going to go to the health department this morning and see if I can't get all the paperwork in, because since we had a 3-day weekend, obviously Monday was a holiday, we're working with the short week, and then that thing starts on, the carnival starts next Monday. So that means that all together I'm asking a government employee to do something in 4 days. And that having used to work in the government, I know that is a huge ask. So I'm really going to have to try and push this. And maybe it'll be super easy, but I'm going to try to err on the side of caution here because I know how it goes. So, but that would definitely be our biggest event. It costs $800 to get a setup there for the entire week. And I did ask the lady, I was like, well, how much do you, how much do you normally, how many people do you get there? Sorry, my brain's a little slow this morning. But I said, how many people do you normally get there, just so I have like a rough idea of how much ingredients to get. And she was like, honestly, I am really, really bad at judging that kind of thing. But she's like, if the weather is nice, it's absolutely packed. Like, there's so many people, you can barely get around. And I have driven by it before, and I've seen like an enormous parking lot just absolutely racked and stacked full of cars. So I think it would be a huge event. I think it would be a really, really big moneymaker for me. And I'm definitely excited about it. And I really hope that we can pull it off. So there was also another orchard. I know I talked about this yesterday, but there was another orchard that I had reached out to, that I've been to maybe 2 years ago, and dropped off popcorn. And I know they had a popcorn guy. And I reached out to them again, and I just said, hey, I don't know if they still have the popcorn guy or whatever, but I reached out and said, hey, would you like me to bring a bag of popcorn by? I really would. I wholesale to other orchards, and I'd love to wholesale to you guys too. And I did get a response from them, and they said, why don't you reach out to our main email address? The lady that responded was like the social media manager. She was like, why don't you reach out to the main email address, and you'll get somebody that, could give you an answer. And so at least it wasn't a stark no. It was just hey, give this a shot. So we're going to make sure we send that email. And then another lady from my Facebook posts, on the, Beer Around Frederick page, she sent me a message. I guess she tried some popcorn this weekend. She showed up when I was popping in the driveway. She tried a bag of popcorn, and she had sent me a Facebook message that I didn't see until yesterday, asking me to do another really big event. It's a one-day event, and they take 10% of whatever you earn, but she said it's a ton of people there. It's like a music fest. It benefits a good cause, and of course, I can't say no to charities, so I would love to do that event. And she said she's going to give me some more information on it and the details of that. And so it's shaping up to be a pretty decent month here. Once June kicks off, I know our wholesale orders, the existing wholesale customers we have, is going to be starting, and it seems like it's shaping up to be a pretty good June, which is definitely good because we are scraping the bottom of the barrel, for survival through the, monetarily. I spent a bunch of money starting other companies. As soon as the owner of the previous company I thought I was going to take over, as soon as he passed away, I spent thousands of dollars starting another contracting business, which still hasn't come through for me yet. And just, life in general, bills you got to pay. So this June should be very, very helpful if this starts coming through. And, definitely gives me some blood in the water to find some bigger events and keep doing this type of stuff. Because I don't want to go back to a 9-to-5 job at all. I want to definitely do this. So I'm really excited, and I really hope that works out. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to the Carroll County Health Department, and let's just see if we can say temporary food license. And as you can see, I've already tried to do this at some point. I did actually, I forget what event I was trying to do in Carroll County. There was an event at a brewery, and it ended up raining that day. But I did the same thing, actually. I had they said, hey, can you come next week and pop? I'm like, sure, I'll try. So I put my paperwork in. through the health department. I never got a phone call. No idea what ever happened. Never got approval. Never got a phone call. Nothing like that. Luckily, it rained that day because I was stressing out. Like, I didn't want to tell these people that I didn't have the food permit. And of course, I turned the food permit in, and the lady said, "Oh yeah, you'll hear from somebody," and so on and so forth. So I have actually done this before, and never heard anything back. This time, I'm gonna have to be, a little more on the ball with begging them to please sign this. So it doesn't look like it will be too bad. But yeah, so I would say, like, all in to even be a part of this event. I don't know how much the licensing is going to cost. It looks like it's $25 for this, which is, nothing. But then, yeah, there's the $800 that I pay to the Lions Club. And then there's going to be lots. I would imagine I'm going to have to go get a bunch of, I'm going to have to get a bunch of ingredients. I asked her, how much roughly. She has no idea how many people. So I think on the positive side, this fair it's not like the fair in the town I grew up in, where it was like the fair was an all week thing and the fair opened at like 9 a.m. and didn't close until like 10 p.m. The fair is open every day here, but it's a 4-hour event. So that is good that it's like, gives me a little bit of time. Like if I'm, am short on kernels or whatever, I could always go to my supplier and get another bag of kernels for the next day, as long as I am aware that I'm going to run out the following day. So, but I think probably what I'll do is I'll get like, I should have plenty, because I'll probably end up getting, roughly 250 pounds of kernels, and I'll probably get another 200 pounds of sugar, and all that good stuff. So it'll be a lot. I'll have a lot of ingredients on hand, and hopefully I'll just have plenty. The other thing that I'm going to have to worry about is, typically I'm a kind of a one-man operation. My wife definitely does help whenever she can, but of course she does have a full-time job as a nurse, and that's already stressful enough on her. So I try to do this as much as I can on my own, but she certainly helps. And but number one, I don't want to put this on her. And she did say she was happy to help whenever she wasn't working, but I don't think this is the type of event that I'm going to be able to do on my own, because it already takes so much just to be able to pop the corn. So I can, I'm going to probably need to be churning out bags like as quick as possible. There's another thing that I actually have. I have 2 trays for my popper, and the one of them like does not like line up, unfortunately, with the kettle. So when I dump it, the second tray is way too tall, and I can't dump the kernels in it. So I almost need to reach out to my buddy who's a welder and see if I can't get him to shorten the little legs that I have for this kettle, or excuse me, for this tray, because that way I could basically have somebody, I could pop in the one tray, pull the tray out of the way, move the next tray right up, and then pop into that tray, and just kind of have like a constant rotation of, popcorn going. But yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of prep for this. I'm going to have to do like, sometimes obviously I clean the inside of the kettle bowl, but after a while, when you do a lot of popcorn, you got to clean the exterior of the bowl, as far as like the underside where the actual flame touches it. It kind of gets like, this black residue on it that's from the propane. It's like, I don't know what you want to call it, like a residue, but there is definitely a term for it. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but so I'm going to need to do that deep clean on that thing, and really pretty it up, and put my best foot forward. I think since I'm expecting a good, I may sell 1,000 bags, who knows, even 500 bags would be pretty solid for me. But who knows how many I'll sell, but I definitely like to update my QR code video for this event specifically, because the QR code right now is geared towards when people stop on the roadside, and I'm popping right on the roadside. So I think I would like to change the QR code and, say specifically, thanks for buying from me at the carnival. If you're at the Mount Airy Carnival, I live in Mount Airy, and if you don't see me here, I've always got the self-serve stand, which I need to do a YouTube video on. That won't be the live morning show. I need to just do an actual video on that and show you guys how I'm trying to work that. But if I could, if every single person that buys a bag of corn, if they enjoy it and they know that I have this self-serve stand that's like right down the road, they may be inclined to pull off the side of the road and, come see me. So I think that's really should be pretty awesome. So we're definitely excited, and but it's going to be a week full of prepping for this event, I imagine. And really, this is the first like large scale event I've done. I've done smaller events at breweries, but as far as like having a real legitimate crowd that's racked and stacked, I think this is going to be my first one of those type of events. So I have a feeling I'll really enjoy it, and I have a feeling I'll really make good money. So I'm super excited. But yeah, so it's gonna be a lot of getting ingredients, a lot of getting prepared, and I got 4 days. Well, I guess actually I have 4 weekdays, and then of course I got Saturday, Sunday. Saturday, Sunday, I am of course going to be trying to pop out on the roadside, and do what I can there, and we'll kind of go from there. I have some other side tasks that I want to do. There was some popcorn I wanted to give out, and I want to send those emails. So I guess first thing I'll do, instead of this food permit, I do want to look up here, what time does the Carroll County Health Department actually open? Carroll County Health Department. And we are in Maryland. 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So that's excellent. So, and it's not very far away from us. And I believe she gave me 2 names. She said Lisa and something else. So let's see if we can find, maybe if there's like an about us or something like that. Because that would be really excellent if I could just say, hey, I know you're working with the carnival, and they have offered me a spot there if I can get this done, and I really need some help. So hopefully that could work. But I'll keep you posted tomorrow as far as how that goes. So another thing that I probably will have to figure out, which I really have no idea why, I don't understand it, but it's just kind of the way, when you're doing the food licensing, it's just kind of the way that it works. They ask you have to have like if you're doing like a mobile food permit, you have to have a restaurant associated with you where like you can, which is silly to me, because they're saying, oh, well, you have to have a place to dispose of used grease. Well, I don't have any used grease to dispose of. I have no idea why. I don't know why they make you do that, because it's just silly, because I've never gone to the restaurant to dispose of any used grease or anything like that, because I don't have any. But so I worked with a restaurant before when I lived previously in Montgomery County. I had a lady who was real good to me, and she let me use her as the restaurant that I was going to dispose of my grease. Of course, I told her, I don't have any grease to dispose of. I just need you to sign this form. So maybe I can reach out to her again. It's been a while since I talked to her, so I hate to, just reach out and be like, hey, I need this favor again. But I'll do what I got to do. And, I'm sure she was a really nice lady. I imagine she probably wouldn't have any problem with it. So 8 o'clock we can go there. So let's find Catoctin Mountain Orchard. So here is where we are going to try to get some popcorn in. We are looking for another wholesale client, and this is a good size orchard, and I think they do pretty decently. So, and it's good to see stuff like this closing at 1 p.m. on Memorial Day, Monday, May 29th, because that means obviously they keep up with their website. Some of these orchards, they're old school farmer types, and they don't really update their, they don't really update their sites too much. So we got cmoinfo@aol.com. So we'll just shoot them a message. And we could call as well. That really wouldn't hurt us to give a shout. Let's look and see if they happen to have jarred products. All these products are scared. They've been jarred. Okay, so just out of curiosity, I know I had mentioned this, but I really do want to have my own canned goods. I'm very curious as to where all these orchards are, because I know they are not creating this themselves. Somebody is private labeling this for them, and I don't know who or how to find them, but I desperately want to find them. So, fortunately, I cannot see on there. It doesn't say packaged by or anything. It's just, but that is not their product. All these orchard markets around here have their own, whatever, so this Catoctin Mountain Orchard brand. No, it's not. This is somebody else's brand, and they private labeled it. And it's not their fruits. It's not their products going into it. And I would like to find somebody who would take, fruits that I get from local orchards and things that I source. But we'll see if I could ever figure that out. And hopefully, maybe these people will give us a shout, and I'll be able to go maybe build a relationship and ask them, hey, who gets this for you? Because I'd love to do it myself. But so let's go ahead and shoot them an email. Photography policy, just out of curiosity. Yes, sheesh. Okay. Contact, and it didn't look like I could really see what they had at the farm market. Let's see, fruits available, snacks. Let's see. This is where they would have it. Dried apple cider, peanuts, pretzels, assorted popcorn. F. Well, no worries. Maybe they need some more assorted popcorn. Who knows? But let's give them a shout and just see how we can do here. And we'll do. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. We're going to compose an email here to them. Now, I think my best bet, what I typically do when I write an email like this, I will not put the recipient in. I will write the entire email, because the last thing you want to do is, and I've done it before, I'm sure everyone has done something like this before, but you type out a message that's only half complete, you accidentally click send. So the last thing I ever do is I will add the recipient at the very end. So we're going to do potential kettle corn vendor. Now you'll see if you watch me type here. Definitely am dyslexic. I'm not speaking negatively of dyslexic people. I really am, and I definitely struggle. I'm good with wording things or whatever, but sometimes like spelling and grammar, whatever, I'll be a little confused with. For the most part, it makes zero difference at all. The computer does 99% of things for you and tells you when you're wrong, but As far as like capitals, I get a little weird with that type of stuff. I'll throw a random capital in every now and again. Who knows? Who knows why? But yeah, that's just all of that to say that, you know, if you have something, you can still do it, because I'm sitting here doing it and it's worked fairly well. So don't let anything stupid like that get in your head and become a problem for you. So let's say my name is James Goss. I live in Frederick County. They're in Frederick County, so I'm going to let them know. And I am a kettle corn vendor with a variety of products. I shouldn't even say this because I really don't want to sell anything but kettle corn, but I'm going to say it anyway, just because if it piques their interest, then I'd rather that than not. I live in Frederick County, and I am a kettle corn vendor with a variety of popcorn flavors. I was wondering if you had... I do wholesale for a few orchards and markets. I was wondering if you would be at all interested in potentially wholesaling my product at your market. If so, I'd be more than happy to bring by some sample bags for you to try. I also, if you already have a vendor, I also do live events, which people really seem to love. I can provide references for the quality and reliability of my products, and I would love to stop by and introduce myself and share some corn with you if you are at all interested. That's kind of lame. I don't love it, but I do know they have a popcorn vendor. Oh, sorry, I keep punching my microphone. But I do know they already do have a popcorn vendor, so probably this is a shot in the dark, but you never know. So I still better do a pretty decent job. So let's see. Let's fix my dyslexia problems and just general stupidity. I'd be more than happy to bring some sample bags for you to try. If you already have a vendor that stocks the market, I also do live events, which people really seem to love, where I come on site with my kettle and pop live. I can provide references for quality and reliability of my products, and would love to stop by and introduce myself and share some corn with you if you all are at all interested. If there is... Looking forward to hearing from you. I don't know. I hate that, but you know what? Whatever. Okay, so now we're going to paste in the email address. Good morning, my name is James Goss. I live in Frederick County and I'm a kettle corn vendor with a variety of popcorn flavors. I do wholesale for a few orchards and markets, and I was wondering if you'd be at all interested in potentially wholesaling my product at your market. If so, I'd be more than happy to bring some sample bags for you to try. If you already have a vendor that stocks the market, I also do live events, which people really seem to love, where I come on site with my kettle and pop live. I can provide references for quality and reliability of my products, and would love to stop by and introduce myself and share some corn with you if you are at all interested. Looking forward to hearing from you, and feel free to give me a call if you have any questions. Okay, well, fingers crossed on that one. Probably a shot in the dark, but so be it. So I think that's that for that one. I think the next thing we should do, we'll look over the application. We're going to double up on a Google search here. We're going to say Carroll County temporary food permit. So let's see here. Guidelines for specialty food. Let's read the guidelines here. Application must be completed in duplicate and returned to the health department with original signatures. Do not accept faxes. Okay. Hand wash facilities are required for operations that handle food products which are not individually pre-packaged or pre-wrapped. A non-toxic, easy cleanable water dispenser with portable water must be used for hand washing with the basins to collect wastewater. No problem. Soap, paper towels, and a trash receptacle must be provided. Please note that hand washing facilities and dishwashing facilities must be separate. Okay, that's okay. So I have this little hand washing sink. Hand washing must occur before and between glove uses. Hand sanitizer does not replace a hand washing setup. Hands must be washed for a minimum of 20 seconds. Glove use is required by any person handling ready-to-eat foods. No bare hand contact is allowed. Gloves must be changed when going from raw food to ready-to-serve foods if gloves become damaged and after a period of continued use. Washing facilities for utensils, pots, and pans are required for those operations which handle food not individually prepackaged or pre-wrapped and require utensils for serving or equipment for cooking. 3 adequately sized, easily cleanable containers filled with potable water, I never know, for cooking. Example, plastic or non-toxic, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I should be good with all of that. Each stand has to have a cooler or other acceptable means of refrigeration. I don't need any of that. All foods requiring heating shall be rapidly heating using these minimum temperatures. It doesn't really matter. All stands preparing food must have a calibrated food thermometer on site. I don't think I have to worry about that either because my product is not whatever they call it. It's not a potentially hazardous food. Nothing has to remain within, a certain range of heat to battle bacteria or anything like that. All food and food contact items must be elevated off the floor or ground. All food must be prepared and stored at an approved location. Equipment shall not have cracks, crevices, made of non-porous, non-toxic material. It shall also be free from dirt, corrosion, chipping, paint, and shall be in general good state of repair. Equipment shall be easily cleanable. Plastic which is cracked, metal which is rusted or pitted, and chipped enamel should not be used. So I do have a teeny bit on the exterior of the kettle. A little bit of rust spots coming out. So maybe I'll throw a coat of paint on the kettle before I go there. It could be another thing I just throw on my list of tasks. All stands preparing foods must have overhead protection, tent or canopy, as well as an approved ground cover. Examples of approved ground cover include concrete, asphalt, plastic tarps, and non-porous cleanable surfaces. All food specialty permits are subject to inspection by the health department. Food must be prepared and stored at event location or a license-approved food service facility. No problem. And I do believe my little tent thingy, my little sink thing should cover that for us, no problem. So let's go back, and I think this is a separate one, and all foods must be stored and prepared. Do you have food service? I need to figure out who the property owner is. But okay, so that really doesn't look too bad at all. but I am going to have to reach out to the contact that reached out to me from the Lions Club. And, just got a trail cam photo. But yeah, so I'm going to have to reach out to the contact from the Lions Club and see if they are at all interested in giving me the property owner information. And so that's basically going to be my day today. And basically this week, I imagine, is going to be a lot of prepping for this, because this has got a lot of potential for us. So it's going to be a busy week. We're going to be grinding, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm super excited, and it just feels good to be on a good foot and on a good path up. So love to see the growth, and can't wait to see what this turns into. So I think for today, I will leave it at that. I'm going to try to take some other videos throughout the week. One day I will do the live stream, and I really want to see if I can grow that live stream, as far as when I'm actually popping, and we'll get into that at some point. But I think for the day, I do want to get to the health department like pretty early, because I want to get this done. So anyway, I hope if anybody ever listens to this, I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day, and give me a shout as always if you have any questions or anything you want to talk about. Give me a shout. I'd love to have some involvement on these streams. Love to talk about what you guys are getting into. And yeah, so thank you very much. I hope you have a wonderful day. We'll talk soon. Talk to you tomorrow.